Hello, this is Chris from Team Phoenix. Welcome back. If you are interested in true crime videos, then please hit the subscribe button. If you're interested in looking into the psychology of these types of crimes, and if you're interested in being a voice for victims that are no longer here, then please hit the subscribe button. And please also hit the bell just to receive all future notifications of when we're posting videos and when we go live. Now, some people may find today's video distressing. It is quite a graphic crime, so please be warned, and there will be footage and pictures in this video that, as I say, some of you may find distressing. So this is Joel Guy Jr. and he's 32 years old from Tennessee, Hardin Valley area. And last week he received 2 life sentences for the murder of his parents, mother Lisa, 55, and his father Joel Guy Sr., 61. And this happened in 2016. But not only did he murder his parents, he also dismembered their bodies, which makes this crime just all the more graphic. Now, this happened on the Saturday following Thanksgiving, and prosecutors say that he killed his parents after they informed him that they planned to retire and would be cutting him off financially. That appeared to be the motive for this crime. Joel, then 28 years old, back in 2016, he stabbed and slashed his father at least 42 times and his mother at least 30 times. He then cut off their clothes and dragged them to the master bedroom before he proceeded to chop up their bodies and put their arms, torsos and legs in 45-gallon plastic containers that contained corrosive chemicals, including drain cleaner, and he left them to liquefy. Joel's father's head was placed face down in the chemicals. His mother had been decapitated, and Joel put her severed head in a covered stock pot, which he then placed onto a burning stove. While his parents were dissolving, Joel went out and sought medical treatment for cuts that he had sustained in the brutal attack. The couple's, his parents' bodies were discovered the following Monday, just a couple of days later, after his mother Lisa failed to come to work and deputies performed a welfare check on the home. Remains were found strewn all throughout the home. Detectives noted that the flesh on Joel Guy Sr., the father's face, was dissolved to the point where his skull was visible. And I will be playing a short video, police video, of the aftermath of when they went into the house, and also some crime scene images as well. Now, Joel was unemployed and he lived for years on his own in Baton Rouge in Louisiana. His mother worked to financially support him. After learning that his parents planned to sell their home, as I say, retire and move, Joel spent weeks planning his parents' murders. As we'll see, they found a notebook before he planned it before driving to stay at his parents for Thanksgiving when he was going to carry out what he planned. There was no evidence provided at trial that Joel was mentally ill. It's claimed that he killed his parents so that he could receive their assets, and he intended to destroy evidence by burning down the house. He didn't burn down the house in the end. I don't know why, but he had planned to. The 2 life sentences that he's got will run consecutively. Joel also received 4 years for abuse of a corpse. Now, Joel's lawyers plan to appeal the convictions, alleging that law enforcement illegally seized evidence from the crime scene. I don't know quite how you can defend something like that, to be perfectly honest, even on a technicality. I know it's the public defendant's duty, but it just seems crazy to me. Investigators discovered Joel's murder checklist, as I say, which we'll have a look at, the notes that they found. And he had reminders to himself, including get killing knives, kill him with knife, clean up mess. He meticulously planned what he was going to do. Now, I do have a police video here, which I'll play for you now, and it depicts the aftermath of the killings, and it just gives a real inside bit of a look at just what some of these police officers and first responders have to deal with and what they have to see, really. So please be warned, some people may find this footage distressing. There's two videos, one a lot longer than the other, and I'll play those for you now.
Kitchen area. So table in the eat-in kitchen. Random items in the kitchen floor. And then this is the kitchen proper. So it's important to note here that the stovetop is on in this large stock pot.
At this point, do you have any knowledge of anything being inside the stock pot?
No. So this is continuing kind of to the other side of the kitchen counter. So there's some reddish brown staining right here, and we refer to things that we believe to be blood as reddish brown staining in forensics before they're tested and confirmed by a lab to be blood. So if you hear us refer to RBS or reddish brown staining, that's what that is. So there's more RBS down the side of the wall, and here at this gate, and on the banister as well. So this is just the landing at the top of the stairs, just kind of a small, almost foyer type area. That's on the ground in two large Rubbermaid type tubs. And this is a shower with a hose attached to the top. Attachment, the shower head has been removed and a hose has been put there instead, like a garden hose type of thing.
In your own words, I know it may be difficult, but if you could describe to members of the jury what you observed in the two tubs.
There is a heater in the bathroom. This is just the closet in the master, one of the closets in the master bedroom. This is back out into the foyer.
So it's believed that Joel first killed his father. He knifed his father to death in the upstairs exercise room. As I said earlier, he was stabbed and slashed 42 times, with some of the blows severing his ribs and puncturing his liver, lungs and kidneys. His father's blood stained the walls, and they found his severed hands on the carpet. The autopsy showed that the father's hands were cut off at the wrists. His arms were severed at the shoulder blade, his legs were sawed off at the hip, and his right foot was removed at the ankle. The evidence indicated that the father fought for his life. Joel then ambushed and stabbed his mother to death when she returned home from a shopping trip. Lisa was stabbed 31 times and had 9 of her ribs severed. Her legs were cut off below the knee and her arms were removed at the shoulder. Joel then tried to dissolve some of the remains in an acid-based solution and boiled his mother's head in a pot. You would have seen in that police footage, some of it was obviously blurred out, something that they found, as I say, that the hands on the floor, that those blue plastic containers obviously contain body parts which were dissolving in the acidic solution. And you would have seen the boiling pot on the stove in the kitchen, which actually contained his mother's head. Now, prosecutors said that before he carried out these heinous, atrocious crimes, that he meticulously plotted his every move in a notebook, and detailing at great length how he would kill his parents and then how he would dispose of their remains, step by step. And we can look at that here because we've got some of the pages of the notebook here. We'll read through that in a second, but he had a meticulous checklist for his murders, and this obviously suggests clear premeditation of what he was going to do. His written reminders to himself included get killing knives, killing with knife, clean up mess before she gets home, kill her with knife, flush chunks down toilet, not garbage disposal, get a sledgehammer to crush bones, and body gives time of death alibi. Now he also reportedly made a note about programming his mother's phone so that it would send him a text message while he was back at home in Baton Rouge in Louisiana to prove that she was alive. The notebook, as I say, was reportedly found. It was in a backpack in the guest bedroom where Joel had been staying for the Thanksgiving weekend. So let's just have a quick look through these notes. I'll read out what I can. Hopefully you may be able to read it yourself on the video. So this is in the notebook of Joel's that they found at the house. So it says him in the ground, fixing it, kill him with the knife, clean up mess from him before she gets home, kill her with knife, take dog with you, something, place her in shower, turn on hot water and point at her to get rid of forensics, remove her clothes and take them with me for disposal, place him in plastic bin and use it to get him into the upstairs bathroom, cut off his arm and plant his flesh under her fingernails, place her head with his DNA so that his DNA is not washed away by shower, use sodium hydroxide to destroy his soft tissue and soften bones for transport, baste once every hour to accelerate, flush sodium hydroxide down the toilet, wash out bin with handheld shower head and then direct handheld into toilet to flush anything out of the pipes and into the public waterway. Douse kitchen rooms with bleach. Place hair curler with flammable paper and flammable containers of gasoline in 4 locations. His killing room, her killing room, his bathroom, her bathroom. Wipe down areas near killing rooms and bathrooms. Turn heaters up to 90 degrees to melt fingerprints and dry everything. Set her phone to send me a text message. Something Sunday for proof that I was in Baton Rouge and she was alive. Leave through front door and wipe down doorknobs. Timer for flammables set for Friday at 10 a.m. Sunlight masks fire but not smoke. Something works so they can't report it. Read that word. Get killing knives. Quick. Multitask. Get sledgehammer. Crush bones. Bring blender and food grinder. Grind meat. Get bleach. Denature proteins. Get plastic bin for denaturation process. Does not matter where they're killed. Just get rid of bloody spots to prevent evidence of time of death. Not the mattress or couches. Get rid of bodies inside house. There and my DNA already there. Flush chunks down toilet, not garbage. Body gives time of death. Alibi. Don't have to get rid of body if there is no forensic evidence on the body. His fingerprints and DNA. They're in capitals. It's just shocking reading that. It's like something out of a movie. But how meticulous was he to plan all of this? Now, these notes aligned with the police's theory that Joel Sr. died first, the father. The notes read, kill him with a knife, clean up mess from him before she got home. The corresponding bullet point reads, kill her with a knife before instructions to place her, to which the police interpret to be Lisa, his mother, in the shower and turn on hot water and point at her to get rid of forensics. As we saw, the notes detail how Joe allegedly sought to place his father's body in a plastic bin and use it to haul him into the shower alongside his mother's body to wash away evidence. Cut off his arm, plant flesh under her fingernails, use sodium hydroxide to destroy his soft tissue and soften bones for transport, based once every hour to accelerate. These instructions then advised wiping down areas near killing rooms and bathrooms before turning up the heating to 90 degrees in the home because it speeds up decomposition and melts fingerprints. Now in these notes here, Joel includes a section titled Assets, and in it he's laid out a plan clearly to hide his father's body and inherit his mother's $500,000 life insurance. Money all mine, he writes. I get the whole thing. We can just have a look at that here. So, as I say, it's titled Assets, her life insurance, her assets, $500,000, possibly more with double inheritance. With him missing, dead, I get the whole thing. All her other assets are joint. Go to him if missing, unknown if he is dead. His assets, as a list, includes all joint property if missing. Something he gets, maybe goes, or maybe get all joint property. Something, Knoxville house, Sugarsville house. The Sugarsville house priced or something $400,000 plus. Her car, his SUV, his boat, his old truck. So he's clearly thought and listed his parents' assets and what he thinks he's going to get out of murdering his parents, what he stands to inherit. It just blows my mind that somebody would do all of this for money, kill their parents for their assets. It just seems unreal, doesn't it? Now, Joel was reportedly studying to be a plastic surgeon, interestingly, in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and he He had been in college for 9 years while his parents supported him. Joel's sister and half-sister told the jury during the trial that they knew that their father and his wife intended to stop giving Joel money. The couple planned to break the news to him during the Christmas holiday. His half-sister added that her father and Lisa told her that it was time for Joel to stand on his own 2 feet. Joel had arrived at his parents' home on Wednesday, November 23rd, and had spent Thanksgiving with them and his 3 sisters, and returned to his home in Baton Rouge on Sunday. I can only presume that his sisters went home earlier. He then killed his parents on the Saturday. He then went home on the Sunday. When Lisa, his mother, failed to show up for work on Monday, her supervisor made multiple attempts to reach her by phone, but she did not pick up. Concerned for her safety, she called authorities and asked them to perform a welfare check, which of course led to the gruesome discoveries that we've just read about. Investigators described it as horrific. Deputies who walked into the crime scene had a physical reaction to the odour of chemicals and decaying flesh in the home, where the thermostat, as we read, was set to a scorching 90 degrees. One of the attending officers who took the stand during trial revealed that he had an ominous feeling when he arrived first on scene at the home. He entered the property through a garage door. As soon as that garage door opened, we immediately felt heat. Walking through the downstairs of the house, nothing made sense to me. The detective detailed how groceries had not been put away properly, and he spotted 2 people's wallets next to one another on the table. After he saw what he believed to be blood on the wall, he instructed all officers present to put gloves on. You can see straight down the hall, and I saw hands not connected to a body. At that point, the other officers held the hallway, and we started doing standard building clearing. I will never get those smells out of my head or my dreams, the officer said. Now, the guys, the parents, had just sold their house and were in the process of moving into another home belonging to Joel Guy Sr.'s deceased mother, which they had recently purchased. Joel was apprehended at his apartment just as he was about to get inside his vehicle on November 29th, a couple of days later. So I have some crime scene pics here. They are blurred out. The extremely graphic parts are blurred out, but of course some of you may find them distressing, so please be warned. But we'll just have a look through those now. So this was taken in the exercise room. This is where Joel's father was murdered by his son. You see knives on the floor, there's considerable blood stain there. His clothes on the floor where he'd been stripped. This is the same room, obviously considerable blood staining up the wall on the carpet, and the area there in the middle blurred out is where they found one of his hands where it had been cut off. Here, quite a poignant picture where we can see family pictures. I mean, imagine that's obviously Joel. One of these pictures here is likely to be Joel, isn't it? I can't say that for certain. So it could be grandchildren, but I would imagine probably one of these is Joel when he was young. There's a knife here in the master bathroom, which was used. Now here, as you saw in the film, this is the cooking pot. This was in the kitchen on the stove, which was turned on, and inside that pot they found Joel's mother's head, where he had decapitated her. Tools that were found in the kitchen area, a hammer and some kind of forceps or something there, pliers. This was the back of his vehicle where they found a can of fuel. I don't know whether it was full of fuel. Obviously he had planned to burn the house in his notes, which he hadn't done, whether he just hadn't got around to it. They also found other tools as well in the back of his vehicle. So see the gas can there. And this is obviously blurred out. This is in the police footage as well. The 2 big plastic containers where they found dismembered body parts, which he had put in in an acidic solution, and he was trying to dissolve the body parts. So a truly grotesque, graphic crime. It blows my mind how somebody could do that, and seemingly all just for money. You know, his parents were no longer going to support him, were asking him to stand on his own 2 feet, and his decision was to, I mean, not only murder his parents, I mean murder his parents and then dismember them in order to try and get rid of evidence, and plan to run off into the sunset with their inheritance and his mum's life insurance. But I mean, there's got to be serious mental illness at play here. No, I mean, how can anybody do that to their own parents? You know, from a psychological point of view, I mean, the guy clearly has got severe psychopathic traits. I mean, that's such a violent thing to do, to almost have no remorse for it, no guilt for it. Just blows my mind. But as I say, that was last week. Joel Guy Jr., he was sentenced from Tennessee. He was sentenced to 2 life sentences for the murder of his parents, the victims in this case, Lisa and Joel Guy Sr., just 55 and 61 years old.